Okay, so we're going to do another kind of finance question here about some homes. But as you can see, this is going to kind of follow the trend of, different things happening, and it's kind of like two questions in one. So we're going to purchase a home for $250,000, and we have a 15-year mortgage. There's kind of two options, though. One option is to have a down payment of $37,500, and another down payment is to have $62,500. Both of these types of interests are going to be at 15 years with a rate of prime plus 2%, where prime is 3. And we want to calculate, the monthly payment, the amount paid for the mortgage, interest, and then final costs as well. We should probably be able to see which one of these options is going to be better, just kind of the way that we have known and read about down payments, but this time we're going to kind of mathematically prove it. So let's go with the 37,500 down payment, and let's do that one first. So let's set up our TVM solver with NIPV PMT, FB, P over Y, and C over Y. And let's kind of enter some things into this. So let's go ahead and let's enter up some things. So our mortgage is going to be interest at prime plus 2%. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Compounded semi-annually, so that's going to be a 2 down here. We don't know what our PMT is going to be, so that's what we're solving for. But we do know that we're going to be making monthly mortgage payments. So we know that P over Y is going to be 12. Our PV value is going to be the list price of a home. However, we're going to subtract $37,500 from that for a down payment. And of course, we want to pay this house off. So future value is going to be 0. The number of payments that we're going to do is 12 payments per year, but we're doing that for 15 years. So we're going to enter that one in. Let's go ahead and let's put this into our TVM solver. So apps, finance, TVM solver. I already have 180 in here, 5. Let's put in $250,000. Subtract 37,500. That looks good. Our FE is good. That looks good. That's good. Let's solve for PMT. It looks like what we're going to get here is going to be a monthly rate of $1,674.76, and that's going to be our monthly mortgage payment. Okay, so let's figure out how much we're going to pay for this mortgage in all. So let's go for total mortgage cost. So we know that total mortgage cost, we're going to be paying $1,674.76 per month. And we're going to do this for 12 months of a year and 15 years. So let's go ahead and let's just calculate that one real quickly. 1674.76 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 15. We're going to get that this total mortgage ended up costing 301,456.8. Okay, we can figure out what the interest is as well. So if the house originally was financed at our PV value here, ended up costing this much here, we can kind of figure out what the total interest was going to be. So this is how much we ended up paying on the mortgage. And we're going to subtract that from whatever we financed from it. Minus 37. So again, this is how much we paid for our mortgage, the 301. And this is how much we financed with the mortgage. So I'll put that into my calculator. 301, 456.8 minus, I'm going to open up some brackets, the list price of the home, and then just minus our down payment from it, since the down payment isn't included in financing for the mortgage. So it looks like our interest is going to be, I'll put an equal sign over there, equal sign over here, 80,895 456.8. So this is how much interest we're going to get. We could have also done that other thing in our calculator, which is just this. Sigma int 1 comma 180. Just to show you that it's basically the same calculation. It'll be a couple dollars off, I think. We'll go into finance, not to TVM solver, but we can actually just go down to sigma int. That's that little weird sign. 1 comma 180 since that's the entire months that we would have. And we'll see that it's essentially the same one. You can see that we're about $1 off. Either one you can do, but just make sure that you show your work. So if you wanted to do it using this red one, that's cool. You would just need to kind of put that answer and this kind of in your work. It wouldn't matter though what you wanted to do for it, but there you go. Okay, so we got the total paid for the mortgage, the amount of interest paid. Let's actually get the final cost of the home. So let's do one last thing for this one. Final cost. So remember, they're going to pay no matter what. They're going to pay the 301,456.8 because that's what their mortgage costs. But in the very beginning, they actually ended up putting down 37,500 right at the beginning. So if we want to figure out what their total cost is, we're just going to add up those two numbers together. Plus 37,500. And for option 1 here, or with this down payment, they're going to end up paying everything said and done after the 15 years are over. They're going to spend $338,956.8 thousand after everything's said and done. Cool. So that's with that down payment. Now we're going to do the exact identical question. Everything that we calculated here, same thing, but we're just going to not essentially double our down payment, but very close to doubling our down payment. So let's do the 62,500. Let's do it now, but let's do it with the 62,500 and just compare these both now. So everything's still the same, except we just have this new down payment. So we're going to copy down our N, I, PV, PMT, FV, P over Y, C over Y. And it's going to be the identical stuff in it, except our PV value is just going to be changed. So we're going to have $250,000, but this time, instead of minusing the 37,000, it's going to be the 62,500. That's really it. We're still going to be ended up solving for PMT, because we just have to keep on doing the same work. FV is going to be 0. P over Y, I believe, was 12. This was 2. This was 5. And this would have been 180. So let's go ahead and let's just go back to our TVM solver. And let's do this. So everything's the same, except for our PV value. I'm going to take that, just making sure the numbers make sense. Yep. Minus 62,500. Everything else is good, so we're going to solve for PMT now. And it looks like our monthly mortgage rate, oops, got to be back there. There we go. It looks like our monthly mortgage rate is going to be $1,477.73. And this is going to be monthly mortgage rate, or a monthly mortgage payment. Payment. Okay. So we got that. So let's just compare it real quick. Up here, it was $1,674. This one is $1,477. So a cool $200 saved per month just by, well, not doubling your monthly payment, or you're doubling your down payment, but significantly increasing it at least, let's say. Let's get our total mortgage cost now. So just like we did before, total mortgage. We're going to take our monthly mortgage rate. We're going to times it by the amount of months in a year, times it by the amount of years that we have this mortgage. Back to our calculator. It's a lot of using something, going back, calculating something else. It's pretty straightforward though, so hope you're kind of following along as we go through this. And we're going to get that, the total mortgage, $256,991.40. Cool. Let's do our interest now. So interest, yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to do it the easy way here. Well, the faster way, I'll say. I think I'm just going to do it the Sigma INT way, where I calculate from the first month all the way to the last month, and enter. So I'm just going to make sure that I kind of like make sure that the marker knows that that's what I did. So I'm going to put Sigma INT first to 180th month, and I'm going to get $78,491.78 of interest. Cool. And let's do our final cost now. So final cost. We know what we paid for our mortgage. That's this money over here, but that doesn't include our down payment. So we're just going to pop our down payment back onto it. 991.40. Let's go plus now. 62,500. Get our calculator back out. 265,991.4 plus our down payment from before. And we're going to get our total cost of our home here. So this is going to be total cost 32,000 or 328,000 rather, 491.4. All right, let's just do our kind of like final comparison. So for our house before, where we put $37,000 in down payment, we were paying about $88,000 in interest, and our total, or let's say our final cost, everything was said and done, was about $338,000 for the home. When we lowered, or when we heightened our down payment a significant amount, not doubling it, but close. We lowered our monthly mortgage rate by $200 per month. We are $78,000 or $78,000 of interest rather than the $88,000, so about $10,000 less than interest. And you can see our final cost is about $10,000 less as well, $328,000 rather than the $338,000. So kind of cool that we can conclude from this. So it is better to have a bigger down payment rather than a smaller down payment. You're going to pay less per month, and in the end, over those 15 years or whatever the term of the mortgage is, you're going to pay less for the home.